Okay, welcome back. Now, we're going to be taking a closer look at the game state, the game's engine, to make sure that we have a random generator in place. Now, what is a random generator? A random generator is a piece of code that we're going to create that is going to randomly pick, in our case, an invader, right? Out of these 5 by 3, 15 invaders I have shown on the screen. Did I do my math right? Sorry. That's 7 by 3, 21 invaders on the screen. I'm going to pick an invader at random to drop this object, the bomb object, from. So how do I do that? Well, first I'm going to need a loop. All right, loops are under control. In this case, I'm going to pull a forever loop out. All right. What do I want to do forever? I want to pick a number from 0 to 21. All right, 0 to 22 actually. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 0 to 21. I have 21 objects. So I'm going to look under data. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to name it random. I'm going to paraphrase here, random invader. And I'm going to click OK. All right. So random invader doesn't need to be showing on screen, so I uncheck this box. All right. And what am I going to do with random invader? I want to look under operators, and there's a block here that says pick random and 2 numbers. I want to drag one of this out. So I want to pick a random number between 0 and 21 because I have 21 invaders, as I said before. And I want to set, go into data, I pull set out. I want to set this variable I just created called random invader to some number that's between 0 and 21. So I'm going to snap this in here. All right. And I want to do that forever. I want to constantly be picking a number between 0 and 21. All right. And what do I do with this number once I picked it? I want to say, well, if the number that's picked is going to be 1, for example, that's a number that's between 0 and 21. I want to broadcast a message once I pick that number. So I'm going to go into my control once more, and I want to, once I'm doing a check, that's an if condition, pull that out. So if the number I've picked, right, this number is random invader. So if random invader is some number that's equal to, if that number is equal to 1, so therefore I need to go under operators, pull out my equal operator. All right, so if random invader turns out to be the number 1, all right, I'll snap this whole thing into my condition. Then what do? I want to broadcast the message. So I pull a broadcast out. And that broadcast is going to say, well, drop from invader 1. So I need a new message. And I'm just going to say drop invader. Let's choose a better name. Let's just use DF, drop from, lowercase, invader 1. All right, let's just shorten it. So drop from invader 1 if this number turns out to be 1. Click OK. Snap this broadcast into my if condition and snap my if condition into the forever loop. So I need to repeat this block of code for every one of these numbers that I could pick at random. All right, so just duplicate this and change my number to 2, and then change my broadcast to a new message, drop from invader 2, and I will do this 21 times. So I'm going to pause the video. Actually, my time is almost up. I am going to create all of these drop from messages, snap them into my forever loop, and I'll pick up the next video from that point. Okay, so on this list we have, in this video we have my forever loop, and in that forever loop, excuse me, we have a bunch of random statements that are tucked inside of if conditions. So I have 21 sprites that I want to pick one of these 21 sprites, and I need to have some conditions when one is picked. So your code should look something like this. If random invader was number 10, then broadcast the message. So once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and snap that at the bottom of the broadcast. All right, so if I would run this code now, nothing is going to be visually apparent, okay, because all I'm doing is picking a random number and broadcasting the message. I need to do something with all of these messages. So where would the listeners be for this? The listeners will be inside of one of two objects, all right? The object that's going to be listening to all of these messages would be the BOM sprite. So in the BOM sprite, I'm going to say, well, when I receive drop from Invader 1, I need to first go to an object, and the object that I want to go to would be Invader 1 dash 1. Right, so when I received, I should have named these a little bit better. Okay, I'll have to make a change to my variable names, but for the sake of the video, we can continue. Go to Invader 1-1, and I want to make a clone of myself. Okay, so what to do once I have a clone of myself? So when I start as a clone, I want to first become visible. Then I want to start dropping from whatever location I appeared in. I want to start dropping from that location. So the code for this is going to be very similar to the code for the explosion. So let's take a look inside of explosion. And we notice when I start as a clone, first thing I want to do is, well, switch costume, show, wait a certain amount of time, play a sound, switch costume again, wait a certain period of time, hide, and then delete. So I like the way this is set up. So what I'm going to do to save myself some time, I'm going to import this block of code into the BOM sprite, and then I'll make some changes. So when I start as a clone, I want to show myself. I want to switch the costume, so let's put switch out. I want to make sure the very first costume, which is BOM, shows. I want to wait a certain period of time. So wait is under control. In this case, 0.1 seconds sounds very well. Fine to me, 0.1. I don't have a sound to play for the BOM dropping, not yet. Right? It'll complicate the sounds. We'll have multiple sounds if we would run this. So we leave the sound out for now. Switch costume again on the looks to BOM 2. Wait a certain amount of time again. I'll just borrow this and hide, delete this clone. All right. So this is the behavior that I need for every one of my receive drop from messages. All right, so let's tuck this over here, and I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this block for every message that I have of this nature. All right, so I'm going to pause the video here. I'll end this video by showing you what I would do. I would change this to drop from Invader 2, go to Invader 1-2. Drop from Invader 3, right here, go to Invader 1-3. Now, like I said, the naming conventions was a little off. I did a poor job naming these, but we get the idea, right? So next video, you come back, this will be fully populated, and I'll take us to the next step. All we're doing is just duplicating these blocks. See you in the next video.